You're fucking stupid.
I know. What was the name of that bitch though? I'm really. And
what song was it?
It was. I don't know. Sing it again. Sing it again.
I forgot what it was.
Oh. It's like rain. That one.
Oh, it's like rain.
Isn't it ironic? Yeah. Don't you think? Yes.
Don't you think?
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? It's like rain.
Oh my god.
On your wedding day.
Anyways, hi.
Oh my god. Hello, guys.
This is Mike.
And I'm Katie.
And we are brutally honest. Would we make brutally honest?
Yes.
Yes, we are brutally honest. Coming to you live from my apartment.
Yes, but before we start explaining stuff.
Oh, we should probably kick it to the song. Let's go.
Okay, that was enough. Let's go.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm just honest.
Well, we back
Always.
after that intro.
What?
Intro-weeking.
That was bad.
It was super bad. Okay.
Oh man. How y'all doing?
So how was your week? You know how we do this. We just
Where
want
you
to know
can't-
what's going on.
Where you can't respond back to us.
I know. It's okay. We'll pretend again. Oh, that's good.
Oh my god.
It's like Dora. It's like.
You're a fucking idiot.
I haven't seen
Can
Dora
you say?
in like
Can
10
you
years.
count to 3?
That's it.
1.
In Spanish. It
Oh
has to
no.
be- yeah.
Dos. Tres. And they'd be like, whatever.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Welcome back.
Today
What?
we're talking about.
Oh, we are talking about ghosts
And ghoulies.
and goblins.
And spirits.
I don't have a spirit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a soul.
We both soulless.
Facts. No, we're talking about if we believe in ghosts or not.
I feel like that's an objective opinion. I feel like everybody has they either do believe in ghosts or they don't. There's no in between.
I mean, it takes an experience to believe in a ghost, I feel
But
like.
it's funny. You want to know what's funny?
What's funny?
The people who typically are religious, they believe in angels, but sometimes
same-
don't believe in ghosts. And
Same
it's like,
thing.
I know. I mean, like, if we're trying to get technical here, and I mean, like, we are.
A little bit.
I personally believe in ghosts. I also believe in aliens. And if I say that
You
too.
almost said aliens.
I mean, no, I believe in most of the weird. What about you? Do you believe in them?
Yes, for a fact. Because we lived in an apartment, our first apartment. It was on a really weird street in Kenmore.
Yeah, it was very.
I got weird vibes, but it was the only place that would let us move
also
in.
from the owner, so don't be.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, that's
fucking-
that's another story for
You
a
know,
different time.
I wonder what he's doing right now, though.
He's probably hating his life like he did before. A miserable son of a bitch. Hi, what's up? I hope you're listening.
We older now, you a bitch. Nah, it was the only place that would take us, right? So literally, we
were like Mary and Joseph. We couldn't find a name.
we literally could not find anywhere to stay. And I was, 8 months pregnant with our baby.
Immaculate conception for sure.
Fucking you. But yeah, so whatever. We moved into this apartment, and my room was back left, and your room was back right. Yeah, from like the standpoint.
There was like a short, of course,
Okay.
the creepy hallway.
Yeah, so
that
okay,
led to
so
the
you-
bathroom, your room, and my room.
Yeah, you walk in this apartment. We would never use. We're told not to use the front staircase first of all. So I feel like when we use the front staircase, we let something out.
I think that was just more selfish reasons.
I
think
don't
that was,
know.
He didn't want. That was like his entrance. He was the king of the castle, and that was his. If he could roll out a red fucking carpet for himself, he would have. Son of a bitch! I hope you're listening. Hey.
Remember when he crashed our New Year's Eve party? Anyways,
Drunk. He stumbled in drunk. That's we'll get into that story.
we'll do that.
That's another
Maybe we'll
story.
talk about it later.
Yeah.
But so anyways, long story short, we lived in an upper apartment, and it was really, really, really fucking big. Like, the living room was massive. It was huge, and we had a dining room off of that, a kitchen to the right, and then our rooms in the back. And
no, we were like straight out of like college and just kind of
high
like,
school.
Was
We
it
were
high
like,
school?
well, we were 19, so it was a
It
year.
was like our first year. Okay, so like we were in the middle of college, I would say.
Yeah.
And we basically were just like starting out, so we barely had any furniture. Like
We
it
didn't
was,
have any. We had
it
our
was, like,
beds.
a bigger space than what we needed because we barely had things to fill it.
Yeah, and I remember the first thing we ever
I think
bought.
that also gave it a creepy vibe.
Yeah, it did. The one with that popcorn tub. I'll never forget that. But, yeah, so, whatever. One night, I was watching Pretty Little Liars, and we were sitting in the living room on the couch. I was laying on the couch, and I looked up, and in the hallway between our rooms, I saw a black figure. I just, like, didn't really think it.
Ew, you say figure.
What? What is it?
Figure.
What is it?
Figure?
Figure.
It's figure.
Oh my god.
Can I say
Somebody
black
broke my
shape?
finger.
There was a black shape. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, in between our fucking rooms, there was a black shape.
Okay, but do you think that was actually something that you were seeing, or was it psychosomatic because you were looking at something kind of creepy on television?
I don't know. I think it was real.
Okay.
But
I mean, if you believe it's real.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, anyways,
Anyway.
for the 15th time. No, I'm kidding. So I'm laying there. I see this black shadow. Okay, whatever. That was one time. I didn't see it again, but it walked from my room to your room, and I heard it.
Do you want to know something weird? Okay. We've heard this story, or I've heard this story actually multiple times because, you know, I always watching stupid shit on YouTube. And it's a real story, and it's basically about this girl, or I think it was a guy. It was his like apartment or whatever, or his house, and he, you know, kept noticing that things were going missing, or there was just things not, you know, whatever. This wasn't a supernatural story. He thought it was supernatural, so he set up a camera to see what was going on every night or whatever when he would go to bed, and he would wake up and everything was different. Cabinets would be open and stuff like that. It was super creepy. Things that you wouldn't want to see in your normal house. And they found on the security camera this woman, this homeless woman, was living in this like I don't know if it was a crawl space or whatever the fuck.
Like a box?
And she was crawling out like the fucking creature she was, and she, you know, she had the big tousled hair and stuff like that because she was obviously homeless.
I'm getting
She didn't,
like,
you know-
what's that movie with the three witches? The girl with the big red hair.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
Yes,
Hocus
I'm getting a
Pocus?
Hocus Pocus vibe right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was very much like, it was just very creepy. And so basically, I don't know, I guess like she ended up getting arrested or something like that. because
I would hope
obviously-
so.
Yeah, she ended up getting arrested.
She's crawling out of
Yeah.
his crawl space.
to eat his crackers! Like, how fucked up is that? You're like, yo, I just like bought these for myself, and you think you're the only one living there, and there's this homeless bitch that's, I mean, like, you know, maybe if you said something to me, I would have like spared you some food. Like, I don't know.
I would have told you to get out. I would have
Well,
found you
true.
a house or
Very,
something.
Very true, yeah. I mean, I'd be. Anyways, that wasn't supernatural. It was just fucking weird.
It's fucking weird. We'll get into that because I have another story, but for this one, so we made a fort. This is probably like a couple weeks later. We made a fort and in the living room, and that creepy front staircase that we shut at that point. This is probably like right before we moved out of that apartment, and I was already getting like, even at night, I was getting like weird feelings and whatever. I don't know. I felt off.
I mean, to be honest, I felt that way too living there.
yeah.
I mean, like, it was especially for me, though, it was in, like, the back corner by, like, the closet. Not where, like, the door was that was leading onto our staircase, the side staircase, the peasant staircase, that we had to sludge up. But it was, like, the closet that was off to the right. Every
Where
time I looked
my
in that
room
corner, there was
was?
something. No. This was in the living room.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Okay. So, in the living room, there was a closet to the right and a staircase door to the left. So, we're laying in the fort after, like, joking around with each other, and, like, Mike was running outside of the fort, like, trying to scare us and blah, 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 whatever.
Typical Mike things.
Yeah, so we also used to do light as a feather, stiff as a board. So, I feel like that brought a lot.
If nobody knows what that is, you should give it a shot. Do it with an open mind. Don't go into it like, oh, this is stupid. Like,
You really just say light as a feather, stiff as a board. You have to
like,
be very
it's like a mantra.
concentrated.
You repeat it over and over again with like 4 other people, and basically, or you can do it with 3 other people. But No, you have to do it with 4.
4, and the 5th
Yeah.
one is laying down.
Or you could do it
Or
with
sitting.
4 and 3 people are doing it, and then 1 person is.
I
Because
don't
that's
know,
how they did it in
all
The Craft. If you want to see a reference, go to the movie The Craft. It's really good. You should see it. Fruza Box, and it's just awesome. That's like a good like 90s cult witch movie. So if you're feeling like witchy this like October, definitely look at it.
It's August.
There are rules in the beginning where you have to like say she's dying, she's dead, or he if it's a he in the situation.
Yeah.
You have to kind of like imagine that they're like a dead, lifeless body, and you like try to use 2 fingers, and you like try to just raise up that person's body with 2 fingers underneath.
And it fucking worked.
I don't know if it worked. Well, it definitely
It
worked.
worked.
It was,
I have a video of it. I'm
Yeah.
sure I can find of us levitating your sister off the chair with all of us using 2 fingers, and I know we're not that strong.
okay, passion.
I just need
I
to get
feel
this
you.
out. So I'm like very stressed about this. So we're laying in the fort, right? We decided to sleep in the fort that night, and my head was closest to the staircase.
Why don't you say it was a fortnight? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so I was the one laying closest to the staircase, and I thought I was asleep, but I don't think I was actually asleep. Like, in the moment, I thought I was asleep. But in this dream that I had, or in this, like, you know, in the night, talk, I saw the staircase door, which we didn't open for a very long time at that point, fly open, and an old woman just staring at me. And my body, when I woke up, like, I was sleeping, I was dreaming, but when I woke up, the door to the staircase was open, and I was staring right at it, and I swear to God, she was standing right there.
People might not believe in like ghosts and spirits and stuff, but like let me tell you something, that shit is real. Whether it's the religious viewpoint of it where you're like you know, stuck in a purgatory kind of situation, or if it's based on energies, like I said, I believe in energy. I believe that we are recycled universe, like star matter and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
So, and I mean, this is kind of a more existential thought, and I'll get into this when we talk about where I think, you know, our creation story actually lies and stuff like that. We'll
Yeah,
get
it's
into
crazy.
that's a deep dive right there. But I mean, I personally believe in energies and stuff like that, and I feel like if people leave this planet with harboring a lot of negative energy, a lot of weight on them, I
Yeah.
think that it literally and
Weighs you
like,
down.
weighs you to this earth. And
Yeah.
I think that if you have ties to this earth that you're still not past when you die, which is why I think when people die suddenly, it could be a very big problem because they're not technically ready to let go. And I think that we're so attached to our earth, like, that we couldn't even imagine us, like, people astral projecting. It happens, it's real, and I know that you've done it before. I've never had the opportunity. I wish I could.
Not fully, but yeah.
But it's
I'll get
like,
there.
yeah, people like astral project, and they basically have these out of body experiences, and
Yeah,
I
weird.
think that that's kind of a little sense of finally being able to be out of your 5 senses. You know what I mean? Out
Yeah.
of your taste, touch. You know what I mean? All that stuff. So I think that by kind of like ignoring those senses and focusing more on your third eye and stuff like that, I think that you can tap into those energies and stuff, and that's why I
Yeah.
think that there's psychics and mediums and stuff like that. A little side story: when I was dating my ex, I was sleeping over his house one night, and now he's told me that his like house was haunted and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh great, like, especially because like I believe in that stuff, so it was like
Yeah.
it was really kind of like freaky for me, and I couldn't sleep because like I get weird about sleeping out and stuff like that. Like I can't really sleep unless I'm like in my own bed because I'm fucking weird. And
Ditto, actually.
So all of a sudden, like, he's asleep, like I'm hearing things, like I'm hearing, like, he had like his room was like right next to like the steps, and they were wood, so like you would hear creaking.
Stop.
And I knew his brother was asleep, I knew his mom was asleep, and I would be able to hear him coming down the hallway and stuff like that. But next to the stairs, there was no plausible way for someone to be walking up and down the steps. Somebody walked up very slowly, and I heard every step. Got to the top, turned around by the door, and walked down. 5 minutes later, I hear the rocking chair. I'm pretty sure they had a rocking chair.
Was it downstairs or upstairs?
It was upstairs. Yeah, they had a rocking chair. This was a long time ago. They had a rocking chair by the window, and I heard that rocking. And it freaked me the fuck out. I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again. Like, never.
No.
But
That's like, you need to tell the story, because I've witnessed it. There's two things I want you to talk about. The phone that you have.
Oh, okay.
And the ghost in your room at your parents' house.
Yeah, I also had experience with that. Basically, I don't know, this was when I was like 11. And basically, I was like up in my room or whatever. We had just moved into this like, I don't know, like it was like a year since we moved into our new house or whatever. And
Is that where your parents live now?
yes, and it was creepy. Okay, first of all, let me just give you a little premise, a little bit of this setting.
It's
okay?
really nice now.
It's very nice now, but my parents literally, it would have been better had they just knocked it over and just rebuilt from the ground up. But I digress.
Do you?
Yes, it looked like a barn. Okay, it was a straight up barn. When we were moving in there, I was like, what are you making me do? Like, why am I here right now? So I thought I was gonna start embracing country life. I'd have to start wearing overalls. I'd have to hold a pitchfork.
Hey, mister! Does that hat take 10 gallons?
Mind you, this is in Tonawanda.
Yeah. It was just like, and it was surrounded by trees. Like, this guy who lived there before, he had died. Both of them had died. I think the guy died in the house in my old room. And the wife backed... Sorry. The wife had a heart attack while she was backing out of her driveway and hit the tree, my neighbor's tree across the street, and died. So they both died in like the vicinity of the house. Okay?
Are your parents gonna die in that house?
I don't think so. I think these people were just old and they shouldn't have been driving. And so basically, when he boxed in the entire house with like trees and like tall trees and stuff to kind of keep it like gated because he didn't want any of like his neighbors and stuff. Like,
really?
Yeah.
I can't even picture that at all because
But
your parents have such an open yard.
I know. Well, they tore down all of the trees around. Anyway, so like it was just decrepit inside. It had like this ugly, like broken down like wood. I literally could have cried. I was like, "Mom, like what are you doing?" And
Like,
she was
what
like,
the
well,
fuck?
it's not going to look like this when we're done. And it, sure enough, it didn't. But, like, it took a long time to get there. And for the first 3 months, I wouldn't sleep upstairs.
Yeah, just to sleep with your parents.
Yeah, because my room was, like, the attic, kind of.
It was cool.
Yeah,
It was like
the
a
stairs
loft.
went up, but it didn't really have a door. It just kind of had, like, a...
It was an attic.
It was, like, its own, like, attic. So we turned it into a room. And off of the room, there was a walk-in closet, which was very nice, I have to say. I appreciate that. And my own bathroom, so that was cool, too. And the
I hate that fucking
we had to
closet.
board up this, like, crawl space. Because in the closet, if you, like, push past the clothes, there was, like, a crawl space underneath.
Yeah,
and
which you showed me a million
it
times.
creeped me out from the moment we moved in. And basically, this crawl space would constantly pop open. Like, I'd be sleeping in the dead of night, no wind, and, like, all of a sudden, I'd hear a poof, and it would pop out. And it happened about 3 times. And this was later, so even before
Like high
this-
school?
Well, this was a little bit, like, maybe, like, 3 years after we had moved in. Like, I was already in my bedroom, you know what I mean? Like, so it started to get, like, more, like, prevalent. Because it did happen when I first started, but I wasn't sleeping in my room for the first 3 months, like I said.
It was like the
I was
same
sleeping in the
time.
living room because I was like, I'm not sleeping up there. And they're like, okay, well, hopefully you'll feel different when it's, like, done or whatever. So they had to, like, rush to do my room because I was I was sleeping in the living room. But that was so the first incident was my cousin Gianna, shout out to G again. What up? I keep coming up in these. I'm sorry, you were influential in my younger years. She gave me a cell phone, and it didn't work or anything. It had service for years. And,
Fuck
like,
that cell phone.
It was like an old, like, kind of Nokia. It was a Virgin Mobile, but it was like an old
the
cell
oyster
phone.
thing, right? Like the clam.
No, it wasn't. That was my mom's. But I collect,
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I collect all my, like, old cell phones.
Do you have it?
I don't know. I think so. It's, like, somewhere. I could probably pull it out, but, like, we'll see. But basically, I would use it to play, like, this video game on it, or the game that was on the phone. And basically, I had it on top of my dresser, and it hadn't been in service in years, and all of a sudden, it starts ringing. And it starts, like, vibrating on the table, and then it knocks off. And I freaked out. Oh, no. And then, because then I looked over and my window slammed down. I got so freaked out, I ran downstairs, I was like, yo, no. And I still then I slept in the living room for a week after that because I was like, I cannot, like, do
Yeah.
this. Because I thought, like, yes, I've experienced energies before, but, like, I thought that it hated me. Like, I thought that it did not want me there. But, like...
Accurate.
And I was, you know, really, like, apprehensive about sleeping up there because I was like, I'm afraid that it's going to scratch me. There are stories about people getting hurt.
Yeah. Well, don't you remember, like, the one time not the one time, but the single time I remember this very vividly, I slept over.
Yeah.
And I slept on your floor with my feet towards the closet, and that shit flew the fuck open during the middle of the night, and you were dead asleep, and I was like, I just got a shiver. I literally just got a shiver as I was saying that.
It's fucking
I
weird.
don't like that. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy is, remember when we used to, like, drink at my parents' house before we went, like, out? We were, like, 18.
Our dumbasses, like, running upstairs with a bottle of fucking Loopy.
Or,
and
like,
fucking Jose
Dew.
Cuervo.
Or, like, the dude, Mountain Dew liquor.
Yeah, and we, like, tried to just, like, scarf that down before we went out to Marcella's.
Yeah. Yeah. My parents, like,
to a club.
could hear us going up the stairs, because the way my parents' house is, the stairs would lead up into my room, and my room was above my parents' room. But that crawl space, you remember that thing? To, like, my bed was here, to the right. Yeah, my bed was against the wall in this creepy crawl space my parents told me to never open, which I obviously opened a lot. It's my brother's room now, and it was his room before me. But, it, like, there's something in that room. Like, my TV would turn on and off. The door would fly open. It would like smell slightly weird sometimes. So, like, we used to hide our liquor in that closet. Because my mom never went in there because my mom was fucking scared of it. I'm pretty sure, or she just didn't want to go in there because she was just like, "Fuck it."
I'm surprised your mom didn't like spray some holy water on it. You know what I mean?
She probably did.
I was gonna say she probably
A priest has blessed my parents' house.
See, now, okay, here's my other thing. Like, I'm big on energies again, and see, I also feel it's like when you're praying, you're putting a lot of energy into something, right? You're putting your energy into focusing on something. I don't even think the words really matter, and I think that you're supercharging yourself. You're basically pulling in all the energy you can to pray and hope for something, and it's called praying. So you're like, this is my take on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you're literally focusing all of your energy on one thing. And I feel like our minds are so powerful as humans. We only tap into, like, a certain percentage of our brain function. And our brains are capable of a lot more, especially, I think, our pineal gland, which is very small. Anyways, we'll get into that. But I think that you can basically, like, you're basically channeling a whole bunch of energy into one thought, and I think that puts a lot of power behind it. I think that we as humans...
Which we just call it praying.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I think
call it
that's
praying.
people's interpretation. People have, since the dawn of time, have tried to put a face to who has created us, why are we here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's not even get into that right now.
That's a long conversation. But essentially, those are my thoughts on it. So I believe that it's a whole bunch of energy. So I do believe in ghosts, per se.
Yeah, but I
believe in
also,
energy.
like, touching on that, I've had it where, so when we lived in our old apartment, the last one before this one, there was something in my room.
I know, you continue to this day say this, but I don't know.
There was something in my room.
I don't know if there was
Mike,
something.
I remember there being, once again, a black shadow, or it's me.
Yeah, something might be following you, bitch.
But it literally, like, was above my bed to the right, and I would see it, like, walking on the wall, and then, like, coming above my bed, and then stopping, looking down at me, no face.
I mean,
Looking up, and then keep walking.
it could be you. Now, there's another theory that is around that, and this is actually, you can go to a white witch.
What did I do?
I mean, I don't know if it's anything you do. It might have been easy to attach to you. Like, I don't know what, you know what I mean?
Easy.
Like, but we know.
No, I'm not, you
kidding.
bitch.
I'm just playing. But there's this thing, like, this guy, well, okay, so we watched this YouTube video of this guy who opened a Dybbuk box. Do you know what that is?
I've heard. I don't.
Yeah, as a Catholic, I'm sure you heard about it because it's like I don't know, I forgot if it's like...
It's a bunch of, like, relics?
It's basically like a box that has been enclosed, sometimes with wax, and it's been, like, blessed and stuff, but it's still supposed to contain, like, an object or even it's the spirit itself.
Oh, yeah. That's like in, whatever those movies are.
Yeah, when,
Annabelle and stuff, where they're in the room.
They have, like, artifacts and stuff like that. But when, he basically was doing an unboxing video, like the mystery boxes type of deal. And
is he
bought
nuts?
a Dybbuk box. He is nuts. But like he did it because he was like, I don't really, I'm not sure if I believe in this stuff, like blah blah blah. And then people play around with it, and then they get the results. It was actually one of the weirdest videos.
It's like a Ouija board. I will never fuck with a Ouija board ever again in my life.
There's a story I have for that too, but we'll get to that. But he basically he opened the box. And well, he did it with like an EMF reader or whatever. I think it is what it's called. They do the they test for like it beeps
and it gives the static wave reader.
If it senses like a presence or energy, or like heat or something like that. And so when you
like ghost hunters.
Yeah, so he opened it and then he was using the reader or whatever, and it stopped beeping. And he was like, so it wasn't there was like a crystal inside, and he was like, okay, so it's not the crystal that was causing this. He literally let out this spirit. Like, I don't even know if it was, like, 5 minutes after he was, like, filming it, his, like, thing shook off, like, his, like, picture on the wall shook and fell off, and he was like, no, I'm not fucking with that, like, no fucking way, because he heard it shaking, and he looked, and he was like, okay, and then it
was
fell.
he alone?
Yeah, and you watch it happen. Like, I don't know if it was staged, it didn't look staged, it looked like he was actually genuinely,
like, paranormal activity.
Yeah, he left his house, like, and then he got a white witch, which is just, like, someone who has spent their time, doing, like, practicing with energies and stuff like that. Like, I feel like the term witch is really, like, looked down on. There are witches nowadays. They just kind of practice, like, like, it's like praying.
It's almost like holistic medicine,
right,
like
but
Western
they're praying
medicine.
to, like, different energies and stuff like that. And, you know what I mean? It's just like praying. It just has a negative connotation because it's not holy. You know what I mean? Anyways. But you can go to a white witch, and she basically like cleansed his house and like did like a seance.
Yeah,
and I think
it's like a seance.
I don't know if she used
like an opposite. It was not a seance.
No, it's not a seance. It's like the
opposite of a seance.
Exorcism, kind of. Are you talking?
No, exorcism is a person.
No, you can exercise a house. You can exercise like things.
All right, so we just don't want our opinions.
No, we want multiple opinions.
Opinions. So we brought in our friend Nicole. And we don't think we had enough to say, so now we'll bring some friends our way. They're gonna tell us stories that we didn't know. So sit right there and enjoy the show.
Oh. Nicole, hey.
What's up, girl?
Welcome to the mic. Enter Nicole.
Oh shit, hey. What's up, y'all? I don't know how to act.
A little bit closer.
Oh, hi. Hey. My first time on a podcast, so this is fun.
Yeah, so tell us your story about you've had experiences with ghosts.
I've had several. Honestly, all of my houses that I've ever lived in have been haunted, but there's...
I personally think it's you, but we'll get to that.
I think it's in the family. I think there's some spooky
that's true.
bloodline, like, I don't know. But
probably.
This one specific time, my bad. I was at Dead Man's Road in Clarence Center, which is popular in the Buffalo area, would be haunted.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, do you know what it's, like, haunted for, or, like, what the story is behind Dead Man's Road?
I hear a bunch of stories about an old man being on the side of the fucking road or something. I gotta stop whispering. But,
No, you don't. You can swear.
Being on the side of the road and, like with a lantern or some shit. And, like, I don't know. I've always just heard, like, spooky shit happens there. I never knew the actual story.
There's a KKK bar.
Yeah, there is a
KKK
KKK bar.
We talked about that. Yeah,
that.
where there's the KKK bar at the end of this street, and it's like that's scarier than any like
ghost shit.
Yeah, but continue.
Yeah, so it's just woods on both sides, and then it's just like a dead-end street, and it's just like a farming town, so it's pretty desolate. And me and my friends used to just get high and drive down there for shits and giggles. And this one time after we went to the drive-in, we were driving. I was high.
What
but
did
I
you
know
see?
What I saw.
Wait, what did you see at the drive-in?
It wasn't a scary movie.
Okay, it wasn't a horror movie?
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember, but it wasn't.
Wait,
a scary
pause.
movie.
I was there.
No, it was Dylan and Austin.
Do you remember when we went to?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was there. Go.
Different time.
Different.
All right.
Different place.
The same but different, you know?
Yeah.
So we weren't on Delaware Road. We were on the street just after it. Right. High a little bit, but I still knew what the fuck was happening. So me and my friend Dylan were driving. My friend's Austin in the back, but he's on his phone, so he's not paying attention. We drive by and we see this old man and his dog, but it wasn't like, it was so weird because it was like a holographic image. Like it was this blue fuzzy, but it was just like an image frozen in time.
Okay.
Crazy. I just got this like weird vibe from it, like not malicious but angry, you know what I mean? But it didn't move, and then like as you drove by it still didn't move. It was just like a picture frozen in time, but like it was a man and his dog.
So you like drove by it and it just stared at you?
Me and Dylan were both quiet. We saw it, like we both looked at it, like driving by. We waited till we got down the street and we both looked at each other and said, "Bitch, did you see that?" And we're both like, "Yeah," and we described to each other exactly what we fucking saw. It's the same thing, like so we weren't crazy, like we were like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just
Sound
weird.
like the weed.
It wasn't the weed. I know what I saw. But it was just a man frozen like a picture with his dog, like just angry.
So
It was
it's
just
weird because
We looked back and it was gone. Like,
Yeah.
You said that you see kind of shadow figures.
Yeah, I told Mike that a shadow, like,
I think spirits represent themselves in different manners at different times. Though.
So it's just weird that you've seen, because a lot of people have seen it, and I've seen stories where
Right.
both have experienced, and I wonder what that's about. That's just very weird. But I know you have another one. Your house, first of all, has...
Like I said, all the houses I've ever lived in had some weird shit happening.
Didn't you have one that, like, recently you told me about?
The one I'm living in now is real weird for like a moment in time. So we have a Ouija board, which we shouldn't play with.
Yeah.
But we do.
Do you do it, like, often?
We did it in the house when I was probably like 14, 13. Like, we used to play with it a lot. Then we, like, gave up on it, put it in my closet. It was over with. And then I don't even remember what happened, what triggered it. But for, like, a mean minute, there was just, like, this vibe. There was, like, this man. I got this feeling there was just a man in the corner when I would go to sleep in my bedroom, and he was just watching me, like, for so long. And it was just such an eerie feeling. I saged the bitch, and then, like, I did a prayer over the Ouija board, and it went away. But, like, it was just wild.
you had to do a prayer over a Ouija board?
Yeah, because, like, you're not supposed to throw them out, I guess. So I just was like, be gone.
That-
Remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that tied into my story, because I think I told you the story before.
I just did a prayer over it that said, like, this is no longer used as a
Where
vessel
is
to
it?
communicate. It's still in my closet, which I feel like is probably part of the issue. But, like,
Are you still experiencing things?
no, that's the thing. Well, actually, it's really weird. So, like, we've been redoing our house a bunch lately. And, like, for me a minute, like I said, the vibe was gone where, like, I didn't feel like anyone was watching me anymore. But then I just got a new dog, and she was sleeping in bed with me. So I don't know if it was, like, right. I don't know if it was that, but, like, so I'm, like, turned towards the window away from, like, that corner of my room. And all of a sudden I felt someone, like, sit on the bed. And no one was there, which really freaked me
Your
the fuck
dog
out.
was already in bed?
Yeah, like, she was in front of me, and, like, something, like, behind me, like, against my back. Like, felt like someone, like, sat on my bed and was leaning against my back. I was like, oh, fuck. But nothing
Where
really,
was
like,
your dog?
happens, like, on this side, like, in front of
In front of you.
Yo,
like,
dogs
in my chest.
freak me out with that crap. Like,
That's another thing, is the bitch,
and my cat. My cat does the same thing.
the bitch, the same dog who I just got, literally, like, 2 nights ago, she, all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, she usually sleeps on, like, my bed's small, so I don't like her sleeping on my bed with me.
Yeah.
She was sleeping, like, dead ass asleep, and my room is pitch dark. This bitch, in the middle of nowhere, all of a sudden just got up and, just, like, her fucking hackles are up and is just barking at the door. Like she saw some shit. I turned my light on, and I was like, nothing was around. Like, nothing was up. Nobody was around. Like, so this bitch is just barking at nothing. And I was like, oh, no.
That's fucked
See,
up.
but this is where I feel like it gets weird, because I feel like there's constantly things moving around us, and I said this a little
Right.
bit before, but like I feel like we are on different planes of.
We can only see so much of the
Yeah.
visual and, like, hear so much of the spectrum.
And when I said
like,
people are opening up their pineal gland, when people are getting more intelligent or enlightened, they can kind of see further into the veil.
Yeah.
You're not blocking
Yeah.
yourself. Like, you're not subconsciously or consciously, like, I don't believe in
I
that. That's
only
not
see
a
my
thing.
5
Yeah.
senses, or I mean,
Yeah.
I'm only experiencing my
You're
5 senses.
opening your
Yeah.
options.
Literal sixth sense.
Yes, and I mean technically your third eye kind of is, so it's like that's like a new
Vibes
sight.
is real. Like,
Yeah,
vibes is real.
so it's you just feel the energy around you, and I think we're surrounded by different types of energy all the time, and I feel like that also could impact moods.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I feel like, and me and Katie were also talking about before how like sometimes people even get things latched onto them.
Yep.
And it feeds off of their energy until you are basically weak, and they can take you over and use your body. It's like
Right.
people who are lost and looking for a way back to the thing that they
They're familiar with.
Yes.
They know. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy.
So that's what I feel like a lot of the things we are running into.
Like that shadow.
Anything from your other houses that you can remember?
Not my experiences, but my brothers told me, like, several, like, he lived in, so he slept in that bed, he slept in a bedroom, and next to it had, like, a crawl space type thing, and, like, in the middle of the night, he would hear shit, like, not scratching at the door, but, like, moving around in there. Like, not like an animal, you know what I'm saying, because you can tell the difference, but, like, something was moving around there. And then he said, at one point, in the middle of the night, he woke up, and there was a black fucking figure standing right
In
in
your
front of him.
house?
Yeah, in my house.
Yeah.
That's literally what happened to me in my parents' house, the upstairs room. Remember my upstairs room with that like
the crawl
giant
space.
door?
Yeah.
That's where that black thing like came from, I think.
It's freaky, dude.
Like a long time ago. That was my childhood room.
And when it happens in the moment, you're kind of like not sure if it was just a trick of the mind,
Right.
or if it's like, especially because your mind is very strong.
Right, and there's other explanations like animals
Right.
and shit.
Tell me why I was
like,
driving home last night and I literally saw someone in the middle of the road, and then when I pulled up, there was nobody there. Like not like it was relatively fast. It wasn't like 3 blocks down. It was like 3 houses down, and they just like
You don't have any
disappeared.
ghost stories,
All right, well,
On that
we didn't think that one friend was enough, so we brought another one.
Yeah, we feel like this topic, everybody experiences it differently, and so now we are going to call in Alex.
Alex.
Hi. Oh, I have to move forward? Oh, I didn't realize I had to be so close to this thing.
Okay, so tell us your
One or
biggest
two.
experience with your
Hold on one second. I'm getting used to talking to Wally right now. So the only one that I can really think of off the top of my head, because I mean, like, paranormal shit for me, I feel like it's just normal. Like, it's nothing to, like, it's never been, like, a negative situation that I've been in. But the one time that I can always recall, and my best friend back from Pennsylvania will remember this, is her old house used to be a military hospital during
That
World
is-
War II.
okay.
That's
That
just
is
a no
fucked.
off the
that.
bat.
The house has been there for fucking ever. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be. It was a hospital for something. I can't remember if it was a military hospital or a hospital for people that had like tuberculosis or whatever. the hell it is.
Tuberculosis.
Yeah.
TB.
What if you could stop tuberculosis?
Like during the olden
Like,
days.
I know what it is. TB. Tuberculosis.
Been there, done that.
TV could be
I
like
had that
Tanner
long
Bone.
time
Yeah,
ago.
right.
Anyways, so shit was creepy to begin with. The house was beautiful and big, but like it just you could just tell there wasn't something right with it. The one time I can remember is we were in the house alone. She went upstairs to take a shower, and the shower was loud. I could hear her music playing, but like over the shower, I like heard my name being called.
That's weird.
So yeah, so I like heard Alex from up the stairs, and I was like, what? Like, I got on my fucking flip phone, texted, fucking T9, like, what did you say? Like, clicking the phone 7,000
minutes later.
times. Yeah, 3 minutes until I could get the actual text sent. And I heard the shower just, like, everything just stopped. The music went off, shower stopped. And she was like, what? And I'm like, did you just call me? And she's like, no. And I'm like, somebody literally just shouted my name.
That's fucked
When I say
up.
that I've never seen her get, like, dried off and dressed as quick as she did, and we left. Luckily,
Yeah,
her
that's
mom
so
lived right in the
fun.
same town.
That is so fucked.
See, I've never had like experiences where I've heard someone calling my name.
I hear people
I don't
calling
know.
my name
Maybe
a lot.
maybe
See,
no.
I've
Maybe that's a lie. I don't know. Maybe
Did I
I think I
ever? Did I ever tell you guys about the cabin in Virginia that we stayed at?
That already sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. So like family vacation, we're coming back from Florida.
Was it in the woods?
Yeah.
So you stayed at a
In the
cabin in the
middle of
woods.
the fucking mountains. Yeah. Right.
Everyone
What
Thank
item
you.
did you choose?
Everyone pause.
So we were driving back from Florida. We decided to stop in Virginia and stay a couple nights in the middle of the mountains in the buttfuck nowhere town called like Fancy Gap, Virginia, or some shit.
Like, that's a smart idea.
Right.
Fancy
So
Gap.
we pull up to this cabin, and the second we pull up, everyone in the car is like, nah. Like, there's something off about this shit. Like, it was just a bad vibe from
Oh,
jump.
you did tell me the story. I hate the story.
Right.
Okay,
I've never
continue.
heard this
You guys
story.
are gonna love this. Continue.
So then, like, we're spending the night there. Everyone's, like, spread out. There's some beds in the basement, there's some beds on the main floor, and there's beds in the, like, a loft. I'm in the basement with my mom, my dad's in the middle floor, and then my siblings, being my brother and my sister, are up on the loft.
Yeah, she has like 6 of them. She is the Von Trapp family. They do go up hillsides and they do sing
We do very
all
badly.
together in unison.
A deer, a female deer.
But so the first night we heard like little kids running up and down the loft stairs. Like there were light footprints up and down the stairs all night. And we're like, we asked each other next morning, like, no one got up in the middle of the night, you weren't running up and down the stairs. Everyone's like, no, why the fuck would I be running upstairs? So we're like, alright, we all heard the same thing, right? The next night we hear fucking dishes. Like, people opening the cabinets and dishes being moved in and out of the cabinets. Again, we get up in the morning, we're like, that wasn't you. And everyone's like, nah, like, why would I be moving dishes around? So literally, like, I heard these fucking ghosts. It was some crazy shit. And it was, like, such a bad vibe. I've never been so relieved to leave somewhere. Like,
That is...
we was gone. We were supposed to stay an extra night, and we're like, no, we're not staying here another
Peace
night.
out. How
Yeah,
about
we're
that
like,
night?
we're leaving,
Why-
we're done, goodbye. Like,
Why would you ever stay? You should never stay.
It just never sounds like a good idea.
No,
But I
it
mean,
was-
get ready for it because
If-
we're going in the middle of PA
I
soon.
also remember you telling me, I think, about a story with your father, and it was kind of like you guys, I think you were also on a trip somewhere or something. I think it was along the same lines as those. I don't know if you guys were hiking or camping or something.
oh, like, at that same cabin, we saw figures and stuff walking around the hillside. I don't know
Yeah,
if that
that's
was
what
it.
you did tell me. I don't know if you were staying in a trailer or something.
No, it was that same cabin, actually. Yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about that. So, like, we were in the basement level, but it
The
was
same
on,
day?
It was
Wait,
like in
you
a
stayed at the
series of
same
two-
cabin.
Yeah. So we booked the cabin for like 3 days. We only stayed there the 2 days because shit was like getting weird. The first night, so like before anyone even went to bed or whatever, we were like it's on a mountainside, so the basement actually has a door onto the hillside. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can see it, just like a little ass door.
Yeah.
We're sitting there because they had a pool table. We're all just chilling, and all of a sudden you see these fucking figures like running up and down the hill, like outside of the thing.
What? Like,
Yeah.
what's that movie called? The Hills of Eyes.
Yeah.
Like
It was
that.
some freaky shit, dude. And then like we'd shine the light and there'd be nothing there, so it was like mad weird. Especially because like we all saw it. Like it wasn't just one or two. You know, it was, as a collective, we all experienced this, and it was just like such a weird.
I feel like I've never had a family experience with
I've
ghosts.
never experienced.
But
that.
I've
Like I said,
definitely
it's in
seen
my
my
family,
shit.
dude. Like there's spooky shit in my family. I don't know what it is. Like Madam, what is that fucking from Holes?
Oh
Madam
my God.
Zeroni?
Madam-
I gotta carry Madam
Curse on you
Zeroni.
and your family.
Yeah, legit. Like
Get
somewhere down
Madame
the line.
Zeroni up
we're
the
cursed.
mountain.
If you forget to come back for Madame Zeroni, you and your family will be cursed for always and eternity.
I gotta carry the bitch up the mountain. I
Yeah.
don't know who she is. I gotta find her.
No, I gotta find you. She's still alive. It's been like
Right.
400 years.
Yo.
She's
Peach
still
and
alive.
onions or whatever the hell
Right,
it is.
yeah.
She's
Do
been
you have
waiting for
any-
you to just specifically
Right.
carry her up that
I've been
mountain.
waiting for you.
Another one's at the same house that I had though. That one
Not
that
your
was
house.
Story. No, not Harley's fucking medical field house,
Okay.
whatever it was. But this was her by herself, and her dad was there. So the room that her father and his ex-girlfriend like stayed in, it was massive. It was like just this long, it almost felt like a giant hallway, but like enclosed. It was
Ew.
just weird. The room
that's a
setup was
weird
just
vibe.
weird. But apparently, people like you could hear somebody knocking on the door if it was closed, like
Okay.
at nighttime. And then the other time was apparently Harley heard a gunshot right behind her head.
What the
Literally
fuck?
with her dad there, and freaked the fuck out. And like I said, it's another situation. But the thing is, like, so many weird things had happened at that house that like nobody wanted to stay there to begin with. Like there was like constant tension in the house, and it would
Did
cause
they
everybody
buy
to
this
fight.
house?
Feel it.
I don't remember if they bought it or if they rented it. I feel like they
it's best
rented
to buy one of
it.
those situations because
Right.
if anybody saw Amityville Horror, you know
Yeah.
what
You
happened.
Not a
get
good
murked.
situation.
You also were horny for Ryan Reynolds, guy, girl,
True.
straight. I don't give a fuck.
But that house too, it also had this weird, like, all the house was like fixed up, everything was redone and finished, but outside of the kitchen, I believe, there was a locked door that led down to the spiral stone, like, cement staircase that goes into the basement.
What the fuck?
So it's like you walk out the door and it's glass, and it's locked, so you, like, can't get in it. And then you want to walk out that door. There's another door that leads to the outside, and then it goes to a wraparound cement staircase that goes into the basement. So this house was just
that
fucking
never
weird.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
The
I'm
house, like
still
I said,
scared of my basement.
And like to this day, Harley will not go near that house.
I just don't do basements. I'm just
Yeah.
I kind of want to see this house.
When we go to PA, I'll show you because we're actually we're crossing through Huntington, and it's in
Yeah,
Huntington.
I want to see it.
Okay, it's like creepy house after creepy
And
house.
it's literally the
Right.
house
It's like a line.
off the highway on the corner of the road. It's like in the weirdest place
Is it
possible.
something you'd see off
Isn't
Tim Burton's movies?
Silent Hill, like down there.
Centralia, but that is more towards Philly, if I'm correct.
shit.
Yeah, so the actual place that Silent Hill is based off is in PA, so stay away from PA, essentially.
Yeah, it's so
Spooky
weird.
vibe
I mean,
going on.
everybody knows to stay away from PA.
Unless you live, like, even in Pittsburgh, I'd still fucking stay away.
Facts.
Just like drive around. That is the conclusion of Katie, Mike, and Friends.
Talking about ghosts and weird shit.
Didn't.
Ghost, ghouls,
Get
Goblins.
ghosted, bitch.
All right, bye.
dead girls.
And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed getting spooky with us.
It wasn't even spooky. It was actually traumatizing.
Okay, this traumatizing episode of Brutally
Brutally
Honest.
We are sponsored by Wide-Eyed Apparel.
Sponsored by Whiteout Apparel. We are whiteout.com. Please check it out for more information. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Oh, this has been Katie and Mike, and this has been
Brutally honest.
Brutally
Honest.
All right, bye.
Yeah, I'm just honest.